Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I apologize, we're starting a little bit late. My name is Andrew Townsend. I'm the campaign marketing manager here at eLearning Brothers. Today, we were planning on talking about how KnowledgeLink LMS can help you be successful in hitting your objectives. Unfortunately, we are unable to get a solid, good connection with our presenter, who is Peter Getchell, the senior LMS consultant. We do have Carlene Redinger here with us today. However, she doesn't have Peter's presentation for one reason or another. We're super sorry. However, I do want to make sure that we can get you the information that you are hoping to get. So, if you have any specific questions that you'd like to have answered about eLearning Brothers LMS, its capabilities and other things, we can take those questions now. Okay, do you have a link that we can view information on the KnowledgeLink LMS? Yes, there is a link. You can go to elearningbrothers.com/LMS or elearningbrothers.com, and there's Learning Management System in the top nav bar. There's a lot of information about our LMS there. You can also schedule you can schedule both a demo and you can get a 30-day free trial where you can use all of KnowledgeLink LMS, all of it on your own. Right there. So that's, yep, and we'll send that link out. It's elearningbrothers.com/LMS. Another question, what kind of media, this is a great one for Carlene, what kinds of media can I host in KnowledgeLink?
So you can host video files, so MP4, MOV, you can do PDFs, you can do audio files, MP3. We also accept SCORM 1.2, SCORM 2004, and Tin Can XAPI file types. And then you can also attach more file types to a piece of media. So there you can do, Word documents, PowerPoint, and then all the ones that I listed before.
Awesome. And along those same lines, are there any types of files that are not accepted by the system for course building? Can you think of anything that's been, a commonly desired thing that just doesn't work?
Yes, so I mentioned that we can have Word documents and PowerPoints as attachments, but as a session in the platform, we don't accept those two types because you either have to turn them into a Word document into a PDF, and then I've had a lot of people, convert PowerPoints into, interactive sessions like SCORM or Tin Can, or you can also convert PowerPoints into an MP4 file, and you could do that right in the PowerPoint dashboard.
How do my users access KnowledgeLink?
Well, we have a variety of different ways you can add users. So we have a bulk upload sheet. You can invite them individually. So we have two ways of doing that. You can either set the password for them, and then you'll have to manually send them their information, or you can invite them to the system, and the system will send out an invitation via email. They'll click on the registration link, create their own password, and log in. We also have a registration link that you can create. So you create a link that people can just click on themselves, fill out a form, and then they'll get sent right into the system, and they'll get a welcome email. We also have integrations with single sign-on, and we have, if you want to sell your courses, we also have a sales page that you can utilize where people can go, click on a course they want to purchase, and then register the platform, and they can go in that way. So you have a whole bunch of options for getting people into the system.
Great. Next question. What if I wanted to upload a PowerPoint with VoiceOver? I'm not sure what file type that would be or that would come across as. I think that would likely come across as either an MOV or an MP4, a video file, so that you're recording the PowerPoint and then you're speaking the VoiceOver, but ultimately it comes through as a video file. So I believe that should have no problem being uploaded.
Yes. That's
okay,
correct.
Excellent. Someone mentions the description for today's webinar mentioned competency skills assessments. I think this probably would have been a great question for Peter. Let's see if Carlene can answer it. Clutch here. Can you please expand on how this is handled in KnowledgeLink? How do you handle competency skills assessments?
Yeah, this would have been a great question for Peter, but I'm going to do my best here. So, I mean, KnowledgeLink, you can test your user's knowledge. A lot of people, use this kind of like for certification courses and things like that. So we have a variety of features that you can use to make sure that a user is going through a course sequentially, that they're taking everything they need to know. And then what you can do at the end is we have a built-in quiz builder and KnowledgeLink where you could easily create an assessment that your users can take after they've completed the course. And, like I mentioned before, we also have the ability, to upload SCORM or XAPI files. So you can create assessments using those mediums to test your users' knowledge at the end of the course.
Awesome. So I just got a Slack message. Peter said he thinks it's up and working. He's gonna try jumping in again. Hopefully we'll be able to see him in just a second here. But while we wait for Peter to luckily be able to join us, and hopefully he'll be able to stick around this time. So we'll see. Last question for you, Carlene, before maybe we'll see Peter jump in. Is the LMS mobile friendly? Is there like an app or a link, and are there examples of this? And again, I think that's something Peter could have demonstrated, but maybe you can answer that one.
Yeah, the application is mobile friendly. We don't have an app, but it'll adjust to tablet, iPhone, Android phone, whatever you have. It's browser friendly, so it'll automatically adjust, as well as like the videos and any media that you have in there.
Are there limits to how much content I can upload for my users?
There's no limit on content or the amount of courses that you can have in KnowledgeLink. Okay,
excellent. This person's saying, I came to eLearning Brothers through KnowledgeLink. My course is not built yet. How does eLearning Brothers build a course? To the person that shared this, I'd love to have more detail. How does eLearning Brothers build a course? Are you asking about tools? Are you asking about our general process? Are you asking if you were to purchase a course and get it into KnowledgeLink? I'd love a little bit more details there. When it comes, Peter, you're alive.
I am alive. I made it. I made it. My apologies.
Right, so Peter Getchell, our senior LMS consultant. We've had a lot of good questions.
Excellent.
One more to ask you before I just pass the screen over and let you jump into your presentation. It is,
sure.
Does eLearning Brothers help onboard someone? So if I purchase this LMS, am I going to get any help in onboarding, or am I on my own?
Oh, you're never alone. Yeah, we do a great job with onboarding. It's a very white glove environment, white glove service for that. And that's actually Carlene's expertise in the area her department handles, is really taking that approach where we work with you on setting up the implementation, learning about what your goals are for it, and then helping you set up the structure, the hierarchy, load the content, and just making sure you have a perfect implementation process with us. So yeah, very white glove approach, and making sure that you're very successful on the platform.
Great. I'm going to pass the screen over to you, Peter, and just leave it to you.
Perfect. Beautiful. I'm going to load up my my screen now.
And if you've got to bail on your webcam for bandwidth, I understand.
Oh yeah, I may do that, but I want to share my screen. I want to share one slide. I want to just share one, basically. Show my screen. Let me know if you see the end-to-end learning solution.
Yep, I see your Google
Perfect.
Slides.
Excellent. So I'm going to stay within the browser. And now, yes, good call. I will stop my cam.
I'm going to go away
just
then
to make sure that perfect. Save a little bandwidth. But hey, and Carlene, you can do the same. There you go. But everyone, thanks for hanging on, holding on to the webinar and asking those questions for us to answer. My apologies. I'm in Northeast Connecticut, so we got hit pretty hard. But I found a location with some internet and some power, thankfully, so I'm able to spend some time with you. So thanks for taking the time. But I wanted to share this slide for everyone before I jump into the application real fast, because I don't know, for those, I'm sure everyone knows a lot about eLearning Brothers, but they've been in quite an acquisition mode over the last couple of months, kind of to become this one end-to-end learning solution provider. I'm going to talk specifically about the LMS, the LXP side, how you deliver that great training content to your organization. But they handle every other aspect of e-learning as well. So everything from, someone asked a question, how do you build content? We have a great instructional design and development team to build e-learning content that rocks. We have an acquisition of an authoring tool called Lectora, which helps you create amazing content. Disability, AICC and so forth, compatibility for people with disabilities. Lectora, the tool, is fantastic for that. They also have a scenario VR application tool, which helps you create 360 interactive content for training in certain aspects. It's fantastic. They're known for their asset library, their stock photography, things like that. So they have all the tools it takes for you to become a rock star in creating content, as well as game design, off-the-shelf content. So if you don't want to build it, you just want to offload it to us, there is the off-the-shelf library that you can get thousands of different training content loaded into your system for you to get up and running with HR content, discrimination, unconscious bias, things like that. We'll have a little bit.
I don't know if it's just me, Peter, but I think I lost your audio.
LMS technology, so it's all cloud-based architecture up on Amazon S3, so everything is scalable, everything is secure, robust. And someone asked about, is it mobile friendly? Yes, this is a mobile responsive application. So our system relies a lot on pushing out email notifications to the users that are in here to help drive adoption. So when people are enrolled in things, when people are invited to the platform, email notifications are triggered from the system. Having a responsive design just makes it that much easier for them to get to the application, get right to the content that you're sending out to them. So emails are big, and the responsive app works on any device, any browser, any platform. So I am here on the dashboard. So this is very much a personalized dashboard for the users that come in. Now you can have different users in your organization in different roles. The content that is served up is essentially specific to their exact role and what you want them to see. So it's a fully white labeled environment. So I am in here in an eLearning Brothers Learning That Rocks theme, essentially. And this is fully white labeled for all the clients and customers that use the technology. And also, if you want to then white label it for members, partners, clients, customers that you're selling access to, no worries. You just apply a different theme, and then it goes from your white labeled environment to your clients or your partners or whoever you're delivering training to. So we take a lot of pride in the ability to do what are called like experience IDs. Just switch the theme per client, and you can change their entire learning experience just by a toggle of a switch. So we're looking at the great eLearning Brothers branding. You'll see the color scheme, the banner across the top. Now the content that I see now is very specific to my role. So I am a user in the system, and my manager, or I was auto-assigned certain content inside the platform. So orientation, I've been served up on my dashboard, my policies training. And again, this is based on who I am, my role, what I'm supposed to see. And based on my enrollments, I'm supposed to see these 2 courses. Now, the enrollments are key because email notifications are going to be triggered from the back end, pushing this out to me. And this is important because if this is, like a compliance trainer, things that have to be done by a particular date, the emails will nudge me as a user to make sure I finish it on a timely manner. It drastically increases the adoption rate of content and the completion rate of content as a whole. And in this case, this is a course. And in our world, courses are a collection of individual modules, which we call sessions. So in this case, if I go into the orientation course, you'll see it consists of 2 videos. And someone asked a great question earlier to Carlene, I heard, that said, what kind of content? This takes any type of industry standard content. So videos, interactive SCORMs, XAPI, MP3s, PDFs, whatever you can come up with. Sometimes it's just external links. The content can be whatever you can think up, whatever you can create. It can load into the system, industry standard type, and it be part of a course. So think of it, sessions are the modules, and courses are the collection of those. So I'm enrolled in this orientation course. I'm 50% of the way through, and I can continue on and take all of this content in here. If I go back to the homepage, you'll see I have the ability to have featured items. So I call enrolled somewhat like required content. So think of it as those mandatory compliance trainings and things like that. Now featured is just featured, more like elective. So things that I want my user group to see, is a video introducing KnowledgeLink, and then I have 3 courses featured for me. Again, based on my role, I might be in the leadership course, leadership group, so I'm seeing a leadership course here featured to me. Now also on this featured tab, you'll see I can get an idea of most viewed content, things that are trending inside the platform, to identify content for users that they may not have seen in their other treks through here. So this is a great way to kind of get people into other content. And then if I go into say like the leadership course, this course again consists of 3 videos. But again, the overall course is leadership. The content is here. So if I play a piece of this content to give you a feel for the UI UX of the platform, while she is playing, this is a generational leadership expert, and I'm watching this course, I can rate it, I can add it to my saved items as a user. Again, very user-centric dashboard. This is like their favorites area, which I'll show you in a second. And then commentary is key because it's a great way, it's a very asynchronous communication method where the facilitator of this content is now coaching and engaging with this user to kind of give them tips and techniques. So if I miss what she said about being nimble, it jumps me right back to that segment. Like, oh, okay, I can pick up where I left off. So a great way to engage with users and kind of drive that adoption to this content. Everything in our platforms about ease of use and driving adoption to the content. Now you'll see all the media attributes that live beneath it, title, description, call to action buttons, things like that. I can engage with this. I can give it a rating of the content. I can have a 2-way discussion around this content. So if I'm doing a little virtual study group with a colleague, I can have a 2-way back and forth and engage around this content and have a shared communication with anyone that has access to this. And again, a lot of these things like comments, ratings, enrollments, you can turn them on and off from the back end. So it's a very, very, very flexible platform to let you deliver exactly what you want to deliver to your users. It's tracking my progress. I can have attachments, so workbooks, handouts, PDFs, things like that, supporting documents that go along with this content. And then the rest of the course and information live right beneath. I can jump to the next one. And again, I roll right into the next module. So very simple for users. And that's key because you don't want your users to have trouble finding the training that they're looking for. You don't want them to have any hurdles. You want to make it as seamless as possible. And that went in from day 1 of development in UI UX of the platform. Just make it as simple as possible. Put in the tools necessary for users to gain adoption of this content because again, you want a high level of engagement with your users. If I go back to the homepage again, user-centric, enrolled, featured, saved is basically their favorites item. So as they're going through, they can save things to their dashboard, gain access to it whenever they want it. So I can go back in and watch this. Maybe I'm on the road going to a sales presentation and I'd saved a whole bunch of different sales trainings. I can go in and watch them and listen to them on my way and then even gain knowledge. And then when I'm done with them, I can remove them and then I can keep filling up the saved items here. So this is the dashboard. And there's always the more traditional way to gain access to things, whether it's served up on enrolled and featured, or I can browse through the navigation of that little hamburger up there. So more of that subject, topic, curriculum kind of hierarchy. I can, I mentioned earlier, flexibility. The ability on the back end, while we make it as simple as possible in the front end, we make it just as easy on the back end for admins. A lot of drag and drop capabilities for uploading content, setting up that structure, that course structure, subject, topic, curriculum kind of hierarchy. You'll see here it's very flexible and basically lets you set it up any way you want within these 3 tiers of hierarchy. Again, we looked earlier at leadership. I'm going to show you sales school, which you'll see the content itself lives right on that first level. So this consists of about 7 videos, an interactive tin can, and then a quiz at the end to kind of test my mastery on this sales course. Very easy to set up on the back end. Upload the modules, drag them into the folders, which I'll show you in a second, and then I'm going to end with a survey to see if they've actually completed it and gained that knowledge inside of that content. So that's a piece of the course hierarchy. I'm just going to show you one other thing here. If I navigate to a one called interactive, and then you'll see the second tier, I have some syntax courses, Vado courses. I'm going to go into some of the ELB off-the-shelf content because this is just going to give you an idea. Again, a course overview here. The content lives right beneath it. If I go into this module, a key aspect of KnowledgeLink is, yes, all the SCORM and interactive XAPI content all plays within the confines of KnowledgeLink. So this is playing right within KnowledgeLink. And again, these are more of the interactive SCORM and XAPIs that you may be creating in tools like Lectora, Storyline, Captivate, things like that. But again, the nice thing is it plays right within here. It doesn't link out into another window. And I can interact with this module again and take it, watch the embedded videos, take the quizzes that are built into it. I can engage solely with this video in this interactive module. And then if you notice, all of the information around this module lives beneath it. So it's truly within here. It doesn't link out in another tab like a lot of platforms do. And the cool thing is everything that happens in here reports back to the backend. So did I answer all my questions right? Did I complete the module? Hey, there was 5 questions. Here are my questions and here are the answers. And I'll give you a little taste of that on the backend side. But this is just a great way to see how the interactive type of content can be blended in to a particular course with other resources and e-learning resources you might have. So that's the browse capability. And then from a search perspective, it's very dynamic. So as I'm starting to search for sales, you'll see it dynamically searching for all the courses, which are the collection of content, and then the sessions, which are the individual modules. So if I want to see this one about how to make sales forever, it takes that user right to that, and they're taken right to the course in an individual module. So I've been jumping around to a lot of individual modules, but if you wanted to, say, lock down one of these courses, say like onboarding, you can turn on prerequisites on the back end and make it so they can't jump around. They must finish 1 before 2, 2 before 3, in a very linear approach. So your learning paths may be set up in a way where they must complete certain things before they get to the next. Fully flexible to do that on the back end, turn on prerequisites and make your course hierarchy as intricate as you want.
Peter, so along those lines, I've got another question.
Sure.
Can a quiz be set to be accessed only after certain modules have been completed?
Yes, absolutely. Great question. So again, depending on how you're creating the quizzes, you might be creating them in your authoring tool and dropping that as part of the curriculum, or you may be using our internal tool, our quiz builder tool, to create your own multiple choice, true, false type quizzes or surveys. But yes, if prerequisites are turned on that curriculum, they essentially must complete and get a passing score of that quiz before they proceed to the next module or before they proceed to the next course in that learning path. So absolutely, yeah, it's very much part of that prerequisites. So from an end user perspective, that's the overall look and feel, the white labeling, how do I get the things, again, user-centric, serving up, enrolled, featured, and saved. If they're ever lost and they don't know where to go, again, there's always this help overlay up here, which kind of shows them the lay of the land and they can find what they're looking for pretty easily. There's a built-in notification system, so if an admin or a manager or a division director wants to send out notifications to users inside the platform, they'll all show up here. And this is where, like, when people are enrolled in things or added to the system, invited, they'll get notifications front and center on their dashboard. And then from an end user perspective, they always can edit their own profile. So again, anything to take the burden off of the administrators, letting them change their own profile name, letting them changing their password, updating their email address. Maybe they got married, want to put in their new name. They don't have to burden the admin of the site. So again, taking some of that load off of you as an admin to let them do it themselves here. So now I logged into this system, and one other thing, show history. So I can see the entire transcript of everything that I've done as a user inside here, and I can get quick and easy access to it. So whether it's a particular ELB course that I didn't finish here, or I completed the leadership course, I can see it all in one little transcript. I can print it out if I want. You'll see here the Jeopardy game. I failed with a 10%. If I see that, I see it on my transcript, I can jump right back into that module. And again, this is just a great way to show you how some of the gamification content plays as well. This happens to be a SCORM wrapper built into KnowledgeLink. We have, the training arcade is one of the suites of services that we provide, but it's a great way to have interactive training content and score them on it as well. So I'll that's just a quick and easy way to get to it right from that transcript. And there it was starting to come up as I went. So I logged in as an individual user, straight username and password, but we do a ton of integration with, single sign-on. You hear the term quite a bit. SAML 2.0, letting users in. So you might have an HRIS system or a Salesforce CRM that all your users live in. That will single sign them into the platform so you don't have to give out usernames and passwords. But I'll jump to the back end briefly and show you, you can still manually create users as well. So lots of different ways, again, all about ease of use. You're letting users in easily so they can get to the content easily and really enjoy that learning that rocks. So as I transition to the back end, so again, that was the front end. UI, UX, ease of use is a big thing for us. And again, being flexible in the way you structure your content, being flexible in the way that you can deliver multiple types of content, media types is key for the platform. So if I transition over here, if I am an admin of the system, I'll have this link here that shows admin system. Now you'll see it takes you right to the back end. So I mentioned before, you have the ability to have different white labels and experience for different, again, depending on how you're delivering training, whether it's different divisions and departments in your organization that should get a different look and feel, different clients that are buying content and then they want to get their own look and feel. You have the ability to also hand over administrative rights with that admin role. They're called enterprise admins and office admins. So you at your level as a site admin, we call you super admins. You'll be able to do everything in here. Reporting, content, user management, enrollments and settings. Content and settings are the key ones for super admins. Only you'll be able to upload, build out content, do the course hierarchy, and only you'll be able to do settings, all the bells and whistles, why it looks the way it does, what your media groups are and things like that. But you do have the ability to hand over admin rights to a divisional manager, regional manager, clients that want access to your content, and then hand over reporting, users, and enrollments to them. And they can only do reporting, users, and enrollments for just their subset of users. But I'm in as a super admin like you would be, overseeing everything in the platform. So I'm seeing all the reporting data across all of my different divisions, all of my offices, all of my clients that are in here. So we're in a demo environment, so there's some demo data here. But you'll see here, this is an interactive chart. It changes per my filters down the left. And you get very granular into the data you can get out of this. I'll go through these briefly just to give you a higher level overview. But like I can get view activity of all of my users inside the system. And this will be a common trend. Interactive chart changes, the dynamic, the real-time unique tracking is down below. So if I see a spike of 22 users here, I can click in and see exactly who those 22 users were that accessed it. And then at any time, I always have an export option on all of the different reports that I run. So you can pull it down and get more granular into the details inside of those Excel files. I can search by views, filter by completions, who's completed what courses inside the system, so I can see trends and,
Seems like we lost Peter's audio again. I don't know if you can hear me, Peter, but we've lost your audio.
Relates content to one another as well. So again, making it easier for them to find it. Course enrollments are if the system was generating enrollments or if your managers are manually doing it, it'll track you the trends there. Top rated content, lowest rated content, things you can turn on and off if you don't want them to track and rate your content. The big report for us is this enrollment completion report. I love this one because it kind of gives you that 30,000 foot view of what this content, what this course activity is all about. So you'll see, here's all the users. If I have a particular course, I want to see the activity. I may have enrolled 4 or 5 people in a sales school course. I drill into that course, and what it does is it gives me that little overview of how are my users, in this case, this is say my sales team, they are seeing, my 4 people that are in here, how they're progressing through. Peter's doing great. Bill's little, hasn't started yet, and Kevin is 26% of the way through. If I drill into my teammate Kevin, you'll see it shows me again, however long or robust this learning path might be, it'll show me my progress all the way throughout. So if I've completed it, if I'm in progress, it's not started, I get that overview of everything that this user has progressed through this course. And as a sales manager, I can go into Kevin and say, all right, I know you're stuck here on your social selling toolbox. What do you need from me to help progress through? So you have this access. Also, your managers in the field and in your organization have this access too, but just for their subset of users. So you have great reporting on the enrollment side. There's always very detailed user tracking. So, who's logged in, what given time. You can see the trends in logins. Obviously, you'll see a lot typically Monday through Friday, then a drop off on the weekend, things like that. Registrations, how many people have been registered in the system. And again, if you're doing single sign-on, then the registrations happen automatically. They're coming in through single sign-on through your HR system or CRM, and then they're coming into the platform that way. If you're doing it manually, you're just registering them themselves, or they can do a self-registration if you wanted to. User details is all about their report card, essentially showing you all the users. Peter, if I want to go into my account that I'm in now, you'll see their entire history, all of the enrolled courses that they have access to, all the courses that they've completed already, and then their individual sessions that they've completed. So again, a lot of detail into who sees what and what they've completed. And then the really cool one is this interactive. So depending on how robust and detailed you're making your interactive modules in XAPI or the quizzes and surveys you're building in KnowledgeLink, you can sort by a particular session or drill into a particular user. In this case, I'm just going to pull up, say, Quiz 101. It was let's say it was a required quiz that everyone had to take to progress. And if you see here, here's one, 93% score, 67% completion. If I drill into it, it'll show me all the users that have completed this particular quiz. Moki passed, John passed with certain scores. ELB support myself has not completed it. But if I drill into a particular user, what's cool is because of our LRS, we're able to track all the interactions that happen within these courses. So my first attempt, I failed at 57%, or I should say John failed, not so good. Then he passed on his second attempt, failed again on his third attempt, fourth attempt, fifth. All your different attempts are here, but what's cool is you can drill into it even further and see the questions that were asked, and then did they pass them or not, what they actually answered. So I got this one wrong. John got this one wrong, incorrect. I can see how he answered it. And this might give some insight into like, hey, maybe we asked a question wrong, or maybe there's a common trend across all of these questions. You can get that by exporting it and see all the questions and answers for all the users that are taking it. So very granular into the stuff you can get out of your XAPIs and your actually quizzes and surveys inside of KnowledgeLink. So a lot on that side, a lot of great stuff with reporting. And then if I go into the content side of things now, so this is kind of, I kind of like this part because ease of use for one, but it's also shows off a lot of easy ways for you to kind of author and upload content and build out and structure that content. So like I mentioned earlier, our content is kind of broken up into two sections. There's the content courses side. So courses are like your hierarchy. So think of it as your subject, topic, curriculum. And we looked at these on the front end side. So we looked at onboarding, we looked at leadership. This is what it looks like on the back end. So I call them buckets sometimes because essentially they are buckets holding content. So if I open up leadership, you'll see we looked at this earlier. There was 3 videos in there, but you notice, if anyone noticed, yes, there's a 4th one here. I did not see this because I am not in the correct media group. So the cool thing is you can service one overall leadership course, but you can have it service in infinite amounts of different groups of users because in our world, everything is permissioned by media groups. If a user lives in a media group, the content lives in a media group, that content will turn on. If they are not in that media group, the relationship's not made on login, it just won't show. So I saw these 3 videos because I'm in the prospect media group, but I didn't see this one because I'm not part of PI Bank. So that's just a cool way for you to kind of permission content for different groups of users. But if I go into, say, leadership and edit it, this will show you can have your own custom thumbnails, your titles, your descriptions, tags. Do I want users to be enrolled in this? I can say, absolutely, I want them to be enrolled because, again, remember, that triggers the email notifications, pushing that content out. Do I want them to auto-enroll when they log in? I can say, yes, absolutely. when they log in, put that leadership compliance course right on my dashboard and trigger those email notifications to come out once a month, however the frequency I want to set. If I want to turn on prerequisites, to someone's point, if I take a quiz, must I pass it to get to the next? Yes, turn on prerequisites, and then they must take the first module, pass it, get to the next, pass it, get to the next, pass or complete if there's not a passing score. So this will make it very linear in their learning path. Publish it, yes, no, or later. Maybe I want to work on it and say publish it out in another month, so it goes live September 1st, whatever you want to do. So you can set the publish, and then you basically update that course, and then that, I call it the course hierarchy, is essentially set. You have your buckets in place. Now the other side of the screen, you'll see the content. These are what we call sessions. So these are the videos, the interactive SCORMs, XAPIs, MP3s, PDFs, anything you want to add as part of your course. So I can add new content here. And again, this would be the file. I drag and drop the video file with the XAPI zip file in here. I can have my own link directly to a piece of content. So think of something that might be on YouTube or Vimeo or something on an external site. I can have a link to a piece of content. And then I can also build my own quizzes. So this is my multiple choice, true, false, short answer type of quizzes. And you basically build them in about 2 minutes. You can build your quizzes out and then add them as a piece of content. Once you do that, they live here as a true session inside the course. So you'll see I have some videos here, neck and upper back pain from working from home, things like that. I have an XAPI file here from Storyline. And if I click into some of these, you'll see they all have the same media attributes. And the big things are, obviously title, description, presenter, tags. Big one, media groups. Who should see this? So I wouldn't see this when I logged in before because I'm part of the prospect group. But if I'm part of eLearning Brothers marketing, I will see this inside of either my featured items, my enrolled items, or my browse. So I can be in multiple items. This question's come up quite a bit. Can I be in multiple items? Sure, I can be in this one, and then I can also be in the onboarding new employees media group. So again, flexibility in who sees what and how you structure it. Descriptions, attachments, so here's how you add your workbooks, your handouts, your PDFs, closed captioning that goes along with it, call to action buttons, things like that. You set it up once, and then once that piece of content lives here, you take it, and I'm looking at leadership. I want all my executives to not have neck and back pain. So I want this to be the very first thing they see when they log in. As long as their media groups are there, they will see now the neck and back pain video, followed by the leadership video, and then so on and so on. Once I hit publish, this course goes live to everyone that has access to it. So it's a real, again, upload the content on the right, drag and drop it to the left. It now goes live inside of your curriculum. And there's lots of filters and things like that you have access to in here. Now users, I'll quickly go through the last two because I know we're running short on some time due to my lateness to this, but if I go to users, this is where users are administered. So again, if single sign-on's in place, it will take them to this platform automatically, passing us all the variables we need to know. First name, last name, email, what role they're in. Any other type of information you want to pass, the database can store with our custom data fields. But if you're doing it the old-fashioned way and maybe adding and inviting your users yourself, you just come here, add new users. I can add them individually. I can invite them individually, which triggers an email from the system. I can also import an entire list. So I might have a list of 1,000 users, identifying everything I need to know about them. I can import that entire list in here, and all my users will get invitations, and then we'll be able to gain access to the site. I can send messages, and I can really get an overview of everybody here. So I can filter these by a lot of different ways. I can see people in certain groups, see people in certain enterprises, and I can even get a quick view of like what activity they've been watching. Again, it jumps me right to the reporting side, so I can get an insight into what's going on from a user by user basis. And again, you have access to this, but if you give this access out to those divisional or regional managers or clients that might be coming in for your content, you can give them the same user functionality, but just for their 50 users at their organization or the 100 that are in their division. but not everybody else. So again, enterprise admins and office admins are a key part of the enhanced technology that you get with KnowledgeLink. Enrollments are basically just pushing out the content manually. A lot of our clients will just do it automatically when people come in, auto-enroll them into this course. But this just gives you an easy way to do it manually. So first day on the job, if I decide, you know, I want Bridget and Mike and Kevin to get this course automatically, I would check off that box when we were looking at courses to do it on login. But this is the way to manually do it. Show all users, I want these 3 to get it. I say enroll, and boom, the system generates an email to them. Peter has enrolled you into this course. Click here to get started, and then it drips on them until they complete it. So manual ways to do that is great. And then settings is all the bells and whistles, like I mentioned before. How you get it to look the way it does, how you get it to feature certain things for different clients, things like that. So you have a full back end where you can do all the administration on look and feel, color schemes. This is why my logo is the way it is. This is why the banner is the way it is. But if I want to have different themes for different clients, regions, divisions, whatever, I can easily add new ones right here. Give it their own URL, and basically deploy a new instance immediately. Featured, why things look the way they do when users log in. I control that here. Offices is more the hierarchy. Media groups are the permissioning. There's no limit to the amount you can have, so you can permission content for various groups of users. Just add it, and again, the relation is the content lives in it, the user lives in it, it turns on the front end. And then user data are those data fields. If you want to capture more out of users than we allow, just add your own custom data fields, and we can track it and you report on it on our back end. And then integrations, we do have a lot of clients that want to sell their content. So we've integrated with Zapier to kind of allow us to pass people through shopping carts. We do some stuff with Shopify and Infusionsoft. So just again, just different ways for people to use the platform, be flexible with it to accomplish all their learning goals. Again, whether it's internal training, whether it's external training, anything in between. The platform flexes to kind of accommodate what you're looking for. So that's a quick run through front end, back end. I know I cover a lot in a quick manner. So if there's any questions, let me know. And then, again, I'm available. My team is available to kind of do personal one-on-ones if anyone's interested in digging into the weeds on something more specifically. Also, if you want to talk through your learning objectives, if there are something specific or unique you're doing in your organization, we're happy to kind of jump on the phone, do a Zoom, and kind of talk through other ways clients have done it to help you solve any type of learning initiatives. And again, with the full suite of services that eLearning Brothers offers now, we become that one-stop shopping and help with pretty much any aspect. So Andrew,
Awesome.
unless you have, yeah.
So there is some data there up on the screen. Somebody had asked, actually, someone in our audience asked, is there a way that this can come bundled with the Gold Suite, Lectora or Scenario VR? So I put this up on the screen just for a second. I took back over the screen. Would you mind speaking to this a little bit?
Yes, I pulled it up on mine as well because that was a perfect question. And yeah, it transitions well into this slide here. So again, the ecosystem eLearning Brothers with all the great suites and services. We are super excited to be launching this, this month essentially. So yes, we do bundle all these content libraries that you see beneath into our different packages. So KnowledgeLink is a SaaS subscription model. So there's an annual subscription for the platform. And now based on the subscription that you choose, again, whether it's Pro, Plus, and Premier, we bundle that with a lot of different services now because we want to add as much value into the KnowledgeLink platform as humanly possible. So again, eLearning Brothers, content. So yes, you get the KnowledgeLink platform, and in Pro, you can choose up to one content library. And again, you'll see the libraries on the bottom, great cybersecurity course, great workplace safety, Griffin Hill sales, professional soft skills. Those can come preloaded into your system. So think of it, very turnkey solution. You get the platform, and then we can load up one of those content libraries in there. And then it also comes with the gold eLearning authoring tool. So you can author your own content and make changes to different Lectora type of content. So you'll see you get the Lectora online, And they've added the desktop this month, which is great because now you have both options. The asset library, which is millions of different resources to help you build great things in Lectora. Stock photography, stock videos, assets, templates, things like that. You have access to that, and you get ReviewLink, which is a great way to track the changes going on inside of your content development. So Pro will get you one of the libraries, then Plus will get you two. So you can get the KnowledgeLink platform with two of the content bundles preloaded in. So when your users come in, automatically from day one, hey, they'll see the workplace safety and the cybersecurity course, 125 courses preloaded into your site. And it's very turnkey. They see it, it's done. And then Premier, obviously you get all four. So you get close to 152 courses. And then what's cool about this is they've upgraded the Lectora to also include Scenario VR. So if you're authoring content in Lectora, you can author content in Scenario VR, which is that 360 virtual reality type of content. Great for KnowledgeLink will be the first platform basically delivering VR type of content. So great ways for 360 video training and also Scenario VR for the full virtual VR courses. So yeah, super excited about this. Yeah, hit the ground running, very turnkey solution. And again, it'll get you up and running quickly, and then you have the tool to build out your own content and kind of blend it with your own stuff.
Awesome. I'm gonna pass or show one more screen here, the start your free trial. So if you guys want to learn more about this, if you have more questions for Peter, please reach out to us. I'm going to pass all of your questions that you guys gave before Peter joined on. I'm going to pass those over to Peter after this session, and we can make sure that we've got all of your questions answered. But if you want to just get KnowledgeLink for 30 days, by all means do so. You can do it by visiting eLearningBrothers.com. The information is there on the screen. You can also send an email to info@eLearningBrothers.com and we can get you set up. Also, if you're in a demo with Peter down the road, if you're chatting with Peter or the other LMS sales, I believe it's Kevin. If you're chatting with one of them and you don't have a trial, just say you want a trial and we'll hook you up. Like you try it and see how it works and see if it's going to work for you. So by all means, do that. Thank you, everybody that has held on all the way to the end. We will edit this down and make it a little bit cleaner and send it out to everybody who registered, and you guys can get that later in the day. And we'll also likely post this on our site at blog.elearningbrothers.com. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Peter. I'll get all this information over to you so we make sure we get everybody's questions answered. And we'll see everybody next time.